This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. If you click on the link in the description below, it'll take you to their store and they'll know I sent you there. We're number 1 again. Before we start this draft, I want to remind everyone that my content's sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can click on their logo in the description below and it'll take you to their website. And they'll know I sent you there. It's like not in a description on Twitch actually, but you know what I mean. And on YouTube, it's in the description. A link is, so you can check that out. Lots of great products, so you should check it out anyway. So yeah. So far in this format, I haven't ended up like this format looks like it has a lot of synergistic support for color pairs, but so far we haven't ended up in that synergistic of decks. It's kind of weird. One of our blue-green decks was more snowish, but it went 1 and 2 and didn't fare particularly well. And our other snow deck that had very little snow support was just sort of a blue-green deck with a bunch of 2-for-1s. That deck went 2 and 1. So we don't have a trophy yet. We've gone 2 and 1 twice, though. Been pretty fun so far, 3 drafts in. Seen lots of wacky decks. I have seen so many collector oafs. It is getting kind of silly. Oh, that's not actually. Sling Gang Lieutenant is really, really good. No matter what deck you end up in. If you end up in an actual Goblin deck, it's even better. The weird thing is Goblins don't actually have as much support as we're accustomed to in this set, but all on its own, this is a 4-mana creature that gives you 3 bodies with 3/3 of stats and can just Lightning Helix the opponent's face. And that's pretty good. The Matron would be nice to get to wheel, so we could search up our Sling Gang Lieutenant or whatever, but we'll have to see what happens there. We definitely take the Lieutenant, though. I think it's just the best card in that pack by a considerable amount. Force of Negation. Well, I don't think it's particularly good in Limited. I think it's not good at all in Limited. Most people play way more creature spells than non-creature spells. I think I probably like Mana War the best here. I do love bounce and stuff. Sling Gang Lieutenant, by the way, not bad with ninjutsu. If your opponent lets it get through. So, and yeah, blue-black is the ninja deck. Technically, I'll probably end up in a non-synergistic version again. But yeah, Mana War is better than our other options here. Ooh. Trying to make Archmage's Charm work is very tempting because it's super good. Although, I guess in Limited it's not as good, but being like a cancel or a draw 2 cards is pretty great. But the fact that it's triple blue, I think, kind of pushes me away from wanting to go that route. So we do have another Goblin here who does work well with Sling Gang Lieutenant because it can be sacrificed twice. But Settle Beyond Reality is maybe just better. It's also good with both of these cards, for what that's worth. It's a removal spell that has a blink effect attached to it. I think I like that. Okay, so Nether Spirit's interesting. Kind of tricky to make work in Limited. Undead Augur's interesting. You do need changelings, basically, to get it going. Smoke Shaper. Pretty good, but I think maybe we just want String of Disappearances. It's impressed me so far. It's a bounce spell. We can also use it on our own creatures to recast them. Okay, Merit Lage's Slumber, while I do think it's playable, you have to get to a point where you have like 10 snow permanents and you can scry consistently enough for it to be good. You basically should never expect to win with it, but if you can get enough value out of scrying, I think it's worth it. I think another String of Disappearances is where I go here. Okay, well, Knight of No Old Benalia is pretty great in any deck. I do think it's better in like red-white or green-white, but I think it's pretty good here too. Better than Headless Spectre or Ninja of the New Moon. Pumping your whole team is just a great effect. Granted, we probably need about 15 creatures for it to be worth it, but I do think that's doable. Okay. Well, Gluttonous Slug is definitely interesting. But I think I probably want Smoke Shaper. Pushes us a little more towards black-blue. But, you know, there's no white cards here or blue cards here. So, yeah, I'll go with Smoke Shaper. Azra is a creature type, huh? Interesting. Just noticed that. Okay, so Smoke Shroud gets to be pretty interesting in a ninja deck because it makes it easy for you to get in with something and use ninjutsu, but it also attaches itself to the ninja when it comes into play because it comes back from the graveyard. I kind of want to try it out, so I think that's my plan. Ransack the Lab's not bad. I do think it probably has some better places. We could also consider Snow-Covered Plains. You know, nah. It's just not likely enough we get payoffs for that. There is one rare white card that is a payoff. So Diabolic Edict is okay early, gets pretty bad late. Unearth. I wish Slinging Lieutenant cost less, but we do have Mana War. Let's get Unearth. I think there's a chance it works pretty well in our deck. Alright, I guess we take Scuttling Sliver. I don't love it, but if we get some Changelings, might be worth it. Yeah, I'll take another Smoke Shaper. And I think we'll take a Rank Officer. He's decent. Oh, or we won't because the timer's stupid on here. That keeps happening to me. So I think we're black-blue. There's a random Sasay. The more like Mana Wars and stuff we can get to bring back with Unearth, I think the happier we'll be. The way it just like gives us the last few cards really bothers me. But what are you going to do? Okay, so Firebolt's really good. We could always still end up in like a black-red deck. I do like Fairy Seer a lot in the Ninja deck because it's a 1-mana 1/1 with an Enter the Battlefield ability. If you use Ninjutsu, you get it back into your hand, and you get to scry again. Sadistic Obsession's interesting. I think it's a little too expensive. Reprobation's nice. Putrid Goblin's okay. This pack's just not that good for us. Like, I think Firebolt, Quakefoot, Cyclops, and Reprobation are the best cards in this pack, and none of those really helps us out. Now, we could take Silent Clearing. It would help us splash, like, Settle Beyond Reality, which we might just want to do. Yeah, I kind of like that plan. I think we kind of want to splash this. We don't have any other removal, really, so... And the fact it can cash itself in if you're flooding is always nice. Ooh. So, well, this is an interesting pick. So there's another Sling Gang Lieutenant, but there's also an Ingenious Infiltrator. I think Lieutenant is still what we take, though. Yeah, I think it's just so good that I have to take it. Even without other goblins, I think it's an excellent card. Ooh, Mist Syndicate Naga. Yes, please. It just gets out of hand if your opponent can't stop it. Yeah. We got one of the rare ninjas now. Yeah, I mean, I hope I pick up some fairies. I considered doing it. And now that I have a Mist Syndicate Naga and Smoke Shapers, I probably would have done that. Yeah. So, Return from Extinction gets more interesting the more ninjas or, you know, goblins, if that's the case, we have. I kind of think we just want the Shinobi. It is another 4-drop, but it's important to note that these guys aren't really 4-drops. They just look like them. So I think we take Moonblade here. And yeah, now I think we definitely start taking early evasive creatures who allow us to ninjutsu easily as quickly and as early as possible. think that's the goal here. Another Mana War. I have a hard time saying no to Mana War. Headless Spectre does help us with ninjutsu. But I think we want Mana War. Yeah. Oh, wow. This should not still be here. Definitely what we take. Probably means we're going to lose our splash, but it's worth it. Future Sight just lets you run away with the game late. So we probably don't run these things. We'll see what else happens as well. Man. This pack's not nice to us. Cunning Evasion. Gets interesting if we have enough into the battlefield triggers. And at this point, we do have Sling Gang Lieutenants, Mana Wars, and the like. Universal Automaton does count as a goblin, for what that's worth. I think I'll take the evasion. I imagine it's hard to actually make it worth playing. All right, we get Fairy Seer back, and I think we definitely want it now. We're firmly into a ninja deck. So I think we really want Fairy Seers. So this does give us some kind of crappy fixing, but it's better than most filter lands we've seen since it can do something later. I think we take the Tethers. Take a rank officer here. Probably not playing all of these 4s. Although, again, Smoke Shapers, not really 4s, I guess. But I think so. I think what our deck's really lacking, and that it'll want to really get there, I'll take Fountain of Ecor in case we get something worth splashing, is low drops, and especially low drops that allow us to... We'll take a Snow-Covered Swamp just in case. That allow us to... yeah, we wanted the Spectre that time, so at least we got it. The last few picks of these drafts doing this is so stupid. I haven't really seen them say anything about it. But yeah, we want low-curve evasive creatures at ideally, and we'll take any low-curve creature, to be honest. Ooh. Well... I think we probably want Force of Despair. It's a little situational, but most of the time it's going to let you kill at least one creature for 3 mana. And I do think that's pretty attractive. I think it's better than like Third String of Disappearances or Windcaller Aven. The Windcaller Aven does allow us to give something flying, which is cool. Return from Extinction. The more ninjas we get, the better it looks. But I think we want to try this Force. So I think we want Ikite. I don't think we're going to be drawing cards with it or anything, but it's an evasive low drop, and I think that's what we want more than Venomous Changeling. Man, I love Battle Screech. I wish we had that in our last deck. Probably just another String of Disappearances. We have a bunch of creatures with Enter the Battlefield abilities, so using it on our own stuff is attractive sometimes. Right now, Unearth probably doesn't make it into our deck. I'm hoping Scuttling Sliver doesn't either. So Gluttonous Slug is an evasive low drop that gets bigger the longer the game goes on. I think that's exactly what we want. The Scavenger is interesting, but like I said, our deck's really lacking cheap things. The more cheap things we have, the better Future Sight gets too. I don't know that Rank Officer is going to be ideal in this deck. Probably won't. Although, he does have an Into the Battlefield ability. It's one that asks you for a little help, but it's still an Into the Battlefield ability. I think we take another String. I mean, they're also really good with all our ninjutsu. Bouncing all over opponent's stuff seems pretty appealing to me. Okay, here's a Ninja of the New Moon who is less interesting than the others. Spell Snuff might just be the better thing to take. Ninja of the New Moon does let us like abuse Into the Battlefield triggers and stuff, which we do have several of. But I don't think he would make the cut. I'm going to take Spell Snuff. It's a good sideboard card at least. Okay, here we'll take a Windcaller Aven. It's not really a 6-drop since we can cycle it if that's what we need to do. Okay, another Smoke Shaper. I think that's what we take. String of Disappearances number 5. How many ninjas do we have at this point? 3. Better count quickly. 4. We only have 5. So, I mean, I think we'd rather have another string than Return from Extinction. We'll take Sadistic Obsession here. So, I don't feel like we quite got there in low drops, but I do think... No real reason to take a Snow-Covered Swamp, but I do think we get there, all the 1-drops we got, all the String of Disappearances we got there late are going to help us with ninjutsu. So no reason to run Snow-Covered Lands. No reason not to either in this format. And in fact, there may be some advantage to running it because our opponent may assume we have Winter, what's it called? Dead of Winter. And they may play around it even though we don't actually have it. So, yeah. This looks like a pretty sweet deck, I think. Looks like a pretty sweet deck. So I think Ransack the Labs are pretty easy to cut. Oh, yeah, we also have Smoke Shroud, which can make any creature evasive, so that's good. Putting it on a Mana War or something is going to be sweet. Probably don't need Choking Tethers. I feel like, it does help us get through for damage, but so do our 1,000,000 Strings of Disappearances. Probably don't play Rank Officer. Definitely don't play Webweaver Changeling, which got added to our deck for some reason. So we can actually run one more card. Unearth gets us Mana Wars, Mist Syndicate Nagas, Force of Despair, Headless Spec. It might be worth it. We can always cycle it if it's not doing anything. But the question is Ransack the Lab just going to be more useful more frequently? Or Choking Tethers for that matter. I think maybe we just want the Tethers. Yeah. All right. I think this looks like fun. Ninjas all around. We definitely want more islands because of Future Sight. Yeah, and in general, I guess. The Headless Spectre is the only thing that might be kind of a pain to try to cast with this mana, but I think it's probably right to do because most of our black cards are 4-drops. So, although, again, Smoke Shapers, only sort of 4-drops. But I think this is still right. I think 10-7's good. Good idea, Magic Online. We have Spell Snuffs in our sideboard. We'll do well to remember that. Yeah. We can actually pump Ikite on occasion thanks to cycling, basically. So that might actually come up. In the end, we did not get our blue-black Signpost in common that draws us a card. We took a Sling Gang Lieutenant over it, which could have been the wrong thing to do, potentially. But I think I'm okay with it. That's a lot of Strings of Disappearances. That's for sure. That is for sure. All right. I would like to play first. Is this a keep? I think so. We can always cycle Windcaller even if we feel desperate to hit the 3rd island that we need. And in fact, cycling it early is often just the right thing to do, I think. So I'm probably just going to do it. Okay. Well, that's not so good. We need to hit a 3rd land of some type, and an island, swamp would be great. Hey, look at that. Yeah, I think we just play Mana War here. What we can try to do next turn is Ninjutsu in Miss Syndicate Naga and return this. Actually, if we draw an island, we can definitely do it. Or any land, actually. Yeah, I think we go for that plan. Yeah. So we bounce Lancer Sliver here. If you can go off with Miss Syndicate Naga, especially when you're returning a Mana War to your hand, you should do it. Nasty. So these guys with damage triggers are backed up now by a Mana War who's just going to come down again and bounce something. That's nasty. Do they have a way of messing us up? Not really. They can kill one of the Nagas, but the other one will still make a friend. And actually, we have Smoke Shaper, so they're not even going to kill the one Naga. Because, yeah. Wow. This is disgusting. And I'm okay with that. Bounce Enduring Sliver. We're living the ninja dream right now. Oh, never mind. We're not, actually. I was thinking I could attack with Mana War here. It's probably still worth doing. Although, this is a token, isn't it? Damn. Yeah, okay. It's not quite as exciting as I was hoping this would be. Alright, so we just let this happen. It's still really good. What we're doing is still really good, just not quite as good as I had kind of hoped it would be. Oh. Okay. Well, the indestructibility is probably still going to come in handy here. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty good here still because they'll block my Miss Syndicate Naga because they really don't want me to make more. Then I put in Smoke Shaper. Yeah, so I go Smoke Shaper. Make the Miss Syndicate Naga indestructible. That kills the Lancer Sliver. And then we just hold on to Mana War. Yeah. We could play Future Sight at some point, but I think the amount of value we're getting right now means we should keep doing the silly things we're doing. Yeah, so I think we just go Mana War. Oh, this is a dream come true. Wow. Let's see if we can do that again. Even if we don't, you know, that was that was sweet enough to just keep doing. We cast Mana War 3 times and got all kinds of value out of that. Okay, this is pretty good. We might have to hard cast a Miss Syndicate Naga, but we can put Smoke Shroud on it, so probably an okay thing to happen. Yeah, probably cycle Wind Caller even again at the end of their turn. Yeah, we give that flying. Enjoy. Okay. Ooh, that was nice. Yeah, we definitely want to draw Mana War. Live that Mana War dream. Fair enough. Sliver City. Okay, so I think I play Mana War here, then put Smoke Shroud on it next turn, especially if they're tapped out. Yeah, I think this results in way less damage for us, so we get our Jellyfish out there. Yeah, tap out. Oh, they did tap out, but they also kill their creature. And they have Firebolt in their graveyard, so our Headless Spectre is probably going to die too. Well, they do need to hit a 5th land. They may already have it. And if they do, we're in trouble. Yeah, they have it. So Firebolt on my Headless Spectre is probable here. They're ruining all of our fun. I don't know why they have to do that. There we go to 12 now. Okay, well, I think we play our Naga and put Smoke Shroud on it while we can. Yeah. Then we have String of Disappearances to try to go off here. Yeah, so they drop us to 8. We got double String of Disappearances now. Okay, so I think just trading for one of these is actually a pretty decent plan. And if they had like used a trick there, I think we would have been okay with it. Okay, luckily we can bounce that, and they just paid 1,000,000 mana for it, so that always feels good. They can potentially pay 2 blue mana. They have Fountain of Ecor and Cave of Temptation, which together, oh, that's nice. Which together can allow that, so. We still have our String available, too, so I think we play Future Sight and leave up mana for String of Disappearances. If I already played a land, that was kind of dumb, incidentally, but hey, what are you going to do? Okay, I guess I hadn't played a land. All right, so that's going to be really great. I think we just take 2 to the face here this time. We want to keep our Nagas around this time. Okay, so yeah, cast String of Disappearances on the Valiant Changeling. We definitely want to do it while they don't have blue mana anyway, so, and they don't right now. Okay, well. Attack with both. We are out of bounce spells now. Okay. Too bad we can't play more than one land a turn. But obviously, Future Sight is drawing us an insane number of cards at this point. If they play their Changeling again, I think we're far enough ahead that it doesn't matter since we got to bounce it twice. Interesting. They do have double blue up now. Alright, so Sliver City. Ooh, that is good. So bounce first, Sliver's chosen. Play land. Play Gluttonous Slug. Yeah. Oh, that was wacky. That was a wacky game and an awesome one. Match in general. I mean, that's what we wanted this. That's what you want your Ninja decks to do, and we're getting there. That was some silly stuff. Okay, poo. Is this a keepable hand? I think with the strings it is probably. Yeah. Don't play a 1-drop. If you play 1-drop, we're in some trouble. Okay, you're just suspending something, which also isn't good. Like we said earlier, I think if a good version of an aggro deck plays Knight of Benalia on turn 1, it's not so easy to come back from. For the opponent, I mean. We can slow them down significantly with String of Disappearances, which will make him a little less impactful. But what we really want in this hand is an early evasive creature, I think. Well, that's not one. This way we can play either of our strings, or both of our strings, I mean, if we feel like that's what we need to do. A lot of bounce. We have 5 Strings of Disappearances and 2 Mana Wars. They're the black-white Changeling deck, which I haven't really seen yet. Okay, well, I think we go ahead and bounce Imposter here. Hey, there's a Mana War. All right, so now I think we're kind of in business. So we play Mana War. Bounce Vesper Lark. They can't play both of the cards that they played earlier, not in the same turn anyway. So if they just play Vesper Lark here, I think using String of Disappearances and then Ninjutsuing in Mistblade Shinobi when we attack with Mana War is our best plan. Yeah, that's what they did. So this gives us a really good opening to do this kind of... Oh, well, that's even better. So that's what we'll do. Okay, so we cast String of Disappearances on Vesper Lark. Now we get to set up the Chain of Silliness. They don't have anything in their graveyard they can get back, luckily. Yeah, I am liking Modern Horizons draft. This is definitely the sweetest thing we've been able to do so far, is all this ninja nonsense. I mean, returning Mana War with Ninjutsu is like what I dreamed of doing, and we've already done it several times. Okay, and then we have Mana War back in our hand, which effectively sets up our Mist Syndicate Nagas going forward. So they're in some serious trouble, in other words. They could have a Wrath effect or something. But that's probably okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right, well, we play Mana War. Bounce Gluttonous Slug. Then I think we just String of Disappearances the Changeling Outcast and attack them for 6 and then get 2 more Mist Syndicate Nagas. Yeah. This deck is hilarious. Probably not to play against, but to play with. Oh, you're right. I didn't. That was a waste. Outcast can't block, indeed. Probably still okay, but yeah, that was a waste of a card. Yeah, he's not going to be doing much. You know, I was saying these can be a problem, but we managed to make it so they have nothing in play, so... Then we can make one of these Nagas indestructible with our Smoke Shaper this turn, and potentially, and return Mana War again. And we might have the mana to just replay Mana War, but we probably don't. So we're going to do this again. Okay. So, yeah, we can actually ninjutsu in either of these, depending on what happens here. So I'd probably make this one indestructible since it kills the knight. It would kill the knight either way, though, I guess. But I think that's still what I want to do. Yeah. Get to return Mana War. Make this indestructible. They take 9. Yeah, I think we just hold on to Mana War. Although... You know, maybe not. I'll just go ahead and bounce the slug again. This is silly. Value, yeah. I mean, when you can chain these Mist Syndicate Nagas together, we've been drawing them a ton. I think he may have already earned thumbnail status for this draft video. He led us to victory. Now they're going to play the thing that gives... Well, they only have one snow permanent. Well, that's enough, though, to kill all of these. Still wouldn't be enough. They'd still lose, but... Okay, don't think we want Spell Snuff. I think this gets better against a bunch of X1s, potentially, but... This is an awesome, awesome ninja deck. I think, you know, getting a bunch of Fairy Seers would have been great, but I think 5 Strings of Disappearances fill a similar role. They really set up our ninjutsu effectively. Especially when it's like Mana Wars that we're returning, which we've done, I don't know, 6 times in this draft so far. Which is messed up. But the dream. What's weird is we haven't seen our Sling Gang Lieutenants at all. Worth remembering, anytime our opponent's at 3 or less, if we can just draw Sling Gang Lieutenant, they're dead. This guy. No amount of salt will save you. I don't think that's true. I mean, if he's a slug... Shouldn't a lot of salt still deal with him? Or maybe it's a joke. Oh, it's probably a joke. This set has lots. It's probably a joke about being quote-unquote salty. I bet that's what they're going for there. Yeah, as soon as we got this guy, I was like, all right, all in on ninjas. We were already sort of heading in that direction, but... Mist Syndicate Naga is an absurd ninja, and That's what it has been absurd. It's for sure. That is for sure. Okay. Well, we were lucky enough to get Miss Syndicate Naga. This time we're not back. We don't have anything to make it completely go insane, at least not all on its own. I do think it's still a keep. It's just not like a absurd hand like most of the ones we've had so far. It's just an all right one. Opponent used all of their mulligan time and isn't playing right now, so I'm a little concerned that they are timing us out because they're annoyed at how good our deck is. Okay, they're not. They were thinking about mulliganing. Fair enough. So yeah, I mean, if we could draw a 1 or a 2 drop that's evasive, which is most of our 1s and 2 drops, I think we're pretty happy. I mean, our hand will go out of control probably. That's the piece that we need to make this hand be great instead of just an all right one. Wow. Really? I mean, I'm very happy, but it's like, how? What? Really? Am I happy to draw both of these? I'm kind of worried about... Hello, L. Hartman. I'm kind of worried about some things, but I probably shouldn't be. Probably want to draw the island first, I guess. Future Sight gives us a good way out of this game if our initial plan doesn't work, especially because our opponent mulliganed. Any sort of card advantage is probably going to push us over the top. So yeah, put Future Sight, then island. It might just be worth it to send in the Smoke Shaper on turn 2, but depends what our opponent does. It's probably not. Yeah, it's not. I think we hold on to an island so that if they play their own evasive creature, like their Vesperlark, we can string of disappearances it and then start Miss Syndicate Nagaing all over the place. All right, looks like their mana screwed, which is not good news for them. They could have, what's it called? Wing Shards. That's something to keep in mind here. Thank you, L. Hartman. Yeah, this deck is pretty sweet. You are catching what I think is my best deck in this format so far, just because it has so much silly ninjutsu synergy. Lots of bounce spells, which I always love. This is really my kind of deck. Value City, in addition to actually being good. Not all value decks are, you know, especially if you have a slow, grindy one. The question is whether it's better to play Sling Gang Lieutenant. Okay, well, now I think it's probably just best to... yeah, I mean, I think we just want to snowball things here, so I think we're just going to bounce the Slug. And attack for 6, and then have 2 more Miss Syndicate Nagas. Yeah, you will see the drafting on YouTube. This might be today's draft video. If it's not, it'll probably be Thursday's. Not today's, but tomorrow's draft video. That's what I mean. All right. So now I think we play our Fairy Seer again. Yeah, think we put those both on the bottom. I mean, we kind of want a 5th land for future sight, but I don't think we're going to need it. I can't believe we drew a Fairy Seer. I was like, an early evasive creature is all we need for this hand to go crazy, and then we drew it. All right, let's see if we can get that trophy. Take our first chance at a trophy here. Actually, it's not our first chance. We 2-1 our first draft in the format. Yeah, I've basically every game I think we've won. I've won with the Naga, which is we've been very lucky. We've been able not only to draw it every game, but also effectively set it up every game. I do think we have the tools in this deck to pretty consistently set up ninjutsu, but the fact that we're getting both the Naga and ways to set it up is kind of crazy. We're going to run into somebody who has like a do 1 damage to everything spell. I don't know if there is one in this format. I don't think there is, but there is like Dead of Winter, which would kill all of them. Yeah, they are strong snakes, that's for sure. Yeah, I think this will probably be the draft video that goes up on Thursday. Because we had a decent 2-1 draft earlier that actually had more bombs, but was far less synergistic than this one. Okay, I think this is decent. We can set up Moonblade Shinobi with Gluttonous Slug. Probably just cycle Windcaller Aven early again, like we've gotten it early every time we've seen it. And I think I like the idea of cycling it here again. Yeah. All right. You know, Moonblade Shinobi isn't exactly what's it called? The Naga. If we drawn the Naga right there, it would have been pretty silly. But it is pretty good. And yeah, that's where we're going to go here. We're going to attack. Yay, Menace. And then we're going to ninjutsu the Shinobi. And yeah, then we end our turn. Now, Defile just gives -X to a single creature equal to the number of swamps you control. So it isn't Defile. I'm sure there's something I'm not remembering. Okay, so is it worth String of Disappearancing here? I mean, I'm not making copies of Moonblade Shinobi exactly, right? But it does snowball in a similar fashion. They could have a way to kill our Moonblade Shinobi, but I think we go for it. Oh, I should have played differently there. But I should have played a Swamp, because I think playing Headless Spectre is going to be better. Alright, string number 1. Then we'll play our Slug, but yeah, the Spectre would have been better. We're not that far from Hellbent either. Moonblade Shinobi does a pretty decent impression of the Naga. An impression's still pretty good. Alright, so they're cycling an Unearth. Well, that probably keeps us from attacking with our Shinobi unless we're really lucky and draw like Mana War here. Even Mana War, I mean... first Fear Gargantuan. Okay. So next turn, Headless Spectre will have... Hellbent, most likely. So I think we play our Spectre. Yeah, and then I think just attacking with these is reasonable. I feel like there's too many ways I can set up getting another trigger out of this that for me to want to trade it for a 2/2 zombie. Although getting in for a bit of damage is always good, especially when we have Sling Gang Lieutenant in our hand for reach. Yeah, this is, I was saying when I began this draft, I hadn't ended up with the most synergistic deck yet in this format, and my decks have all been kind of okay, but hadn't been silly like this one. But yeah, I mean, I was pretty sure, like in my looking at the set and my archetype guide and stuff, that crazy synergistic decks would probably be the way to go, and kind of looks that way. Yeah, they're ransacking the lab, which is good news for us, I think, overall. It means they're trying to find something. They do have the Gargantua, who can gain them some life. I mean, draw them a card here. Or they'll just play Putrid Goblin. That's okay, too. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. It may be worth now attacking with everything because I guess playing Sling Gang Lieutenant first on Gluttonous Slug might have just been better. It's probably still not better than... I should probably still just attack with the Flyers now. Yeah. If I'd played Sling Gang Lieutenant first, I could have then played the Spectre and had this be a 3/5 this turn. But the Spectre also is better at getting in for repeatable damage than Sling Gang Lieutenant, so it's probably a wash. Something's going to die here. Maybe both our Flyers, our flying tokens anyway, are going to die. Yeah. Our deck does surprisingly have a lot of go wide for blue-black. This is definitely the most resistance we've really encountered today, so... Ooh, that's nasty. What do you kill? My Spectre. That makes sense. Okay, so now we're kind of in trouble, actually. Not just resistance now. We are actively in trouble. Okay, that's helpful. Man of War makes our slug bigger. Lets us bounce something. Don't really want to bounce Igneous Elemental because it can kill stuff. I could bounce Rank Officer. But letting them have another 2/2 is probably not worth it. Maybe just getting rid of a 2/2 is the best. It probably is. Yeah. Alright, so... I think maybe I just attack with Moonblade Shinobi here and just feel fine about trading it for Putrid Goblin. And no, I don't. I don't feel fine about it. I can't do it. I need to do 5 more damage to them, and then my goblins can finish the job. Another Igneous Elemental. This one's going to kill our Shinobi. Igneous Elemental's sweet. Oh, no. Okay. I may as well... I'm probably only going to use it the one time. Because holding on to the Goblin tokens right now is very relevant. So this gets them down to 7. Okay. Well, I think playing the Smoke Shaper, hard casting it here, and then and making Moonblade Shinobi indestructible is a pretty good move here. Yeah. Because then they have to block it with something at least. pretty much. Yeah, so. I mean, they have to block it with something anyway, more or less. And in this way, they have to lose something, even if it is just Putrid Goblin the first time. Yeah. It does weaken their board while we continue to add to ours. Now that we have a 3/3 that can attack, along with our 3/2, we're kind of in business, I feel like. We also have a 3/6 Gluttonous Slug, which definitely is good. Yeah, bouncing the Goblin in, I mean, it gets rid of 2 blockers, essentially, instead of just 1. So maybe it was better. Wow, that was nice. I think we just do it again. Make Moonblade Shinobi unblockable. I mean, indestructible. I wish unblockable. And then, can we attack with all 3 of these? Kind of feel like we can't. Letting them scry is definitely a pain, but they have to commit 2 blockers to this. Yeah, I think we do it. Oh, our own Goblin. Yeah, good point, good point, good point. So, I think we want to kill the Witch most of all. Oh, those are 4/3s actually, so never mind. I think we'd rather kill a 4/3. Okay. They do get to scry a crap ton now, which I don't love. Yeah, if we'd bounced our own Goblin, then we would have had... two more Goblin tokens, and yeah, they would be much closer to lethal than they are now. We have thinned out their board, but they also just scryed a million times. Grave Shifter. Probably get back an Igneous Elemental, yeah. As expected. We knew we'd have to hit a land at some point, and there it is. Okay, so I think we still attack with both our 3s. Alright, so let those die. Then they're going to play an Igneous Elemental who kills our Mana War. We could really use some evasive damage. Flame Tongue Kavu, basically, is what Igneous Elemental is. Well, okay. Probably comes in handy. I mean, if we can just kill one thing with it, I think we're happy. If we kill more than one, I think we're ecstatic. All right, so I think we take 8. Okay, so we get to kill those Goblin tokens. Maybe they'll play something else, too. Play something else. Ah, okay, well... We really needed to not draw land there. I still think we get in for 2 here and hope that we find a way to finish their life. We could still just be dead here. Oh, I forgot about that. Now we're definitely dead. Should not have forgotten about that. Okay, so... does Spell Snuff seem worth running? think so. There we go. I mean, we didn't get Naga, but we might scry into it. This opponent seems like they can deal with our Naga more effectively than other people too. Yeah, we'll draw a string of disappearances. I think we're cool with that. So the question is, do I want to play Smoke Shaper here? I kind of think it's not a bad plan. Gets us in for 3. Chances are very low that they manage to play something that can block it on turn 2. I get Scry again later. So yeah, I think we go for it. We can return it next turn if we want to. Yeah. I don't really think we need to, though. Yeah, I think we can wait and play both of these evasive creatures. Scry again. Take another string of disappearances. Yes, please. And play Ikite. Oh, it's actually not another one. It was the same one we scryed earlier. We knew that. Okay. So we'll string of disappearances, Putrid Goblin here. Then we attack with everything. Yeah. That's more like it. That's how our other games have gone. Okay. So I think this will be our last draft of the day. Just to let you know ahead of time. All right. This is solid. Let's hope we have some nice stuff on top of our library for Fairy Seer. Oh, we do. We don't have ninjas yet, but I think back-to-back Mana War makes me pretty happy. Hard to be upset with that. Oh, that's not nice. Bye-bye, Fairy Seer. You got Goblined. Mana War, also pretty bad against Munitions Expert, so... As are our bounce spells. Oh, Lord. Luckily, he doesn't make tokens when he comes into play. So we have that going for us. So we're going to cycle our Aven. Give flying to Bashalik Mons. Draw another Mana War. And then there's a Moonblade Shinobi. That's pretty sweet. So play Mana War. Bounce Bashalik Mons. Okay. Ooh. So. Smoke Shroud on our Mana War allows us to set up some things. That said, we could just play our other Mana War, bounce their zombie, then Smoke Shroud and Ninjutsu next turn. I think I like that plan. Because this turn I can't Smoke Shroud and Ninjutsu. I'll be able to next turn though. So yeah, we'll play Mana War here. Also, as long as one Manivore manages to survive, I think we're pretty happy. We also have String of Disappearances to add to the pile of options we have here. Okay, so it looks like our plan's going to work, which is always good. Munitions Expert is very scary to bounce now. All right, so our plan now is we go Smoke Shroud, put it on a Man-O-War. Then we attack with our Man-O-War. We could consider attacking with both, honestly. Yeah, I think I'm happy to attack with both. Two goblins blocking the Man-O-War works for me. Yeah. And then we go Moonblade Shinobi Ninjutsu. Return Man-O-War. Then the Smoke Shroud goes on to him. Those guys die. They take 4. We make a 1-1. And this guy is not easy to block now. And we have 2 bounce spells in our hand. So as long as they just can't... If they can kill Moonblade Shinobi right this second, we're not going to be very happy. But if they don't, I feel like we can run away with this. If they can kill him, we're not going to be happy. Okay. They can't do anything with Pashalik Mons right now. Ooh, except that. Wow. Okay. That hurts my heart. Well, there goes plan A. Do we have a plan B? I guess that's a decent plan B, right? We have to use our illusion, though, to get this started, and that's kind of annoying. But I guess we do it. Yeah, so... oh, we have Smoke Shroud. I forgot about that. It's not that annoying. Smoke Shroud's still in the graveyard, and that means we go Ninjutsu here. Return our illusion. He makes a friend, and I think we go ahead and play Man-O-War and bounce Pashalik again, because if Pashalik's allowed to stay in play, things will get ugly. That was a sweet use of Unearth, that's for sure. I'm wishing we had one right now so I could bring back a Man-O-War. And we considered playing our Unearth, but in the end, decided not to. Okay, well, we can bounce that. If they decide to sack something to it to give it flying, we just bounce it. Yeah, so I think everything attacks. We have Smoke Shaper now, too, who has some potential to do something. All right, so then we go String of Disappearances on the dragon thingy. And well, we kind of have to let this happen, and I think I'm okay with letting it happen. Would have giving something ninjutsu in the first main phase have been better? Maybe. They still have Pashalik Mons in their hand, which I'm not happy about. I think we go ahead and play the Smoke Shaper here. Oh, now I wish I hadn't. Well, that is not ideal, to say the least. I think we still attack with everything. I mean, they have to do... Yeah. Yeah, we still attack with everything. Yeah. Should have held on to the Azra, clearly. So yeah, then that has to block. Should we ever get another ninja, we'll be in good shape. Drop them to 5. Both in top deck mode, but they drew a dude, and we did not. And now, Bashalik Mons can kind of go crazy here. That's pretty useless. I think we attack. We can use Force of Despair to really mess up our opponent's Bashalik Mons plans. There's that. Okay, so... Yeah, so we actually get the Force of Despair here to get rid of both of them, and I think that's probably a good plan since they're in top deck mode. They did just scry, and that matters, but... We'll go ahead and use Force of Despair to make it so... The thing is, they can start chaining together... like sack 1 goblin, make 2 more. And if we let them do that, we're going to lose. So, and I think we might still. We have to draw very well here. That's not drawn really well. Okay, they drop us to 12. Okay. Okay. That kind of works. Actually, it really works. I keep forgetting about Smoke Shroud. So, yeah, make this indestructible. Attack our opponent with it. Alright, it's going to come down to this turn, basically. Our opponent is hoping to draw something big to not die to flying damage next turn. If they can't do it, they're just dead. I mean, we just take 6 here. If they attack us. Alright, we got there. We got our first trophy in the format with a pretty absurd ninja deck. Our last opponent did sort of derail our silliness, but we still managed to win anyway. So that was good. So 3-0, and our first trophy in the format. It's pretty sweet. I will be back on Wednesday, drafting some more Modern Horizons, mixed with War of the Spark probably. So I hope you can stop by. Thanks to everyone who stopped by today. Have a nice rest of your day, everybody.